Coach, thank you for joining us on the call today. If you take a minute to tie up the game at Navy, and then your thoughts on heading back on the road to face Memphis on Saturday, please.
You bet. Thank you very much. Well, really just kind of a tale of two halves. Very, very disappointed in the way that we came out. For whatever reason, had absolutely zero indication of a start like that. I thought that we talked all week long about we control our own destiny. All we've got to do is take care of business. We've placed ourselves in that position, and now we've got to come out with a will to and a want to that stands for who we are and the direction this program is going. And the way we started the ball game was just so disappointing. And again, had nothing that led up to that made me even remotely think that we would have a poor start. I thought that, give credit to Navy, I thought that they were playing with their back against the wall. We had a really strong idea that they were going to do some changes at quarterback. So, when they moved Malcolm over there, it really didn't. I mean, we kind of felt like that was the next best move for them, considering everything. And so we had prepared kind of for that all week long. So it was, I think that when they took the opening drive, when they won the toss, we were going to take the ball if we'd have won the toss. But when they won the toss and went down and scored and held us to a field goal and then went down and scored again, I thought it put the win truly. I mean, it gave them the momentum that they were searching for, that all was right with the world now. They had, Coach had talked about getting back to Navy football, and so we had a strong idea. They didn't want to throw the football any, and we gave them the motivation, and the want to and the will to was definitely on their sidelines in the first half. And then you go to the second half, you put yourself in a bad position, and you go into halftime, and really the message at halftime was, I don't even look at the scoreboard anymore. I was very disappointed in especially the way that we were beat a year ago, for us to come out with the lack of want to. And I just said, look, don't look at the scoreboard. I just want you to play better. And if we can play better in the second half, and if our better is good enough to get us back in it and win a game, then great. If it's not, then hey, look, we've dug ourselves a hole. And we came out. We came out with a lot of fire and a lot of drive and a lot of will and a want to. I thought the opening drive of the second half was probably as pivotal a drive, with us being able to go down and score. I don't think if we would have scored right there, I think it could have got out of hand without a doubt. But we scored, and we just kept saying stack drives upon drives. And eventually we'll look up and we'll be back in this game if it's meant to be. Had 5 possessions in the second half compared to 8 possessions in the first half offensively, which we were very, very lethargic and very poor in the first half. But the 5 in the second half, you had 4 touchdowns, and the most critical one was the punt after a turnover on downs. And so you dug yourself a hole. We did. That we had to almost be perfect in the second half to win the game. And still, with all that being said, we had them 2nd and 15 with 3 timeouts. Called a timeout right there on the last drive. Really felt like at that point, if you'd have asked me, at that point I thought we were going to win a ball game, because we were going to get the ball back, and we were playing with such great confidence that we were going to win the game. There was no doubt in my mind we were going to win the game if we could get the ball back. And obviously the disappointment, unable to stop them on 2nd and 15. And they pick up 14 yards, and then they go back-to-back dives, and I'll give them credit. They did a great job. We were trying to let them score right there at the end, and they had coached that up, and they were going to milk the clock. They knew that if we got the ball back, we were probably going to score. And so, hindsight 2020, you look back at it, there's a lot of things we could have done different, especially early on. But the want to and the will to in the first half compared to the second half wasn't even comparable, especially when you control your destiny. Part of that is learning and growing in this program, and taking the new challenges that come with having a little bit of success this year. So we've got a very tough Memphis team that we're fixing to go play, leaders of our division. And with our loss, it really puts them in the driver's seat. But we got our work cut out for us. And it's 11 o'clock kick. And as I've said many times before, this is about SMU. This is about, do we have the will to and the want to get up at 11 a.m. and and kick the ball off and go play ball. And so this will be a very challenging week for us as a program. This will be a challenging week on the practice field, and because I know we're better than what we saw the first half. I know that the second half is our style of football and championship caliber football, and so it'll be an intense week, and we'll see. We'll see. We're going to go up there and give it our best shot, but right now it's about the SMU Mustangs. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
Take questions for Coach Morris, please. *1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue. Then the operator will introduce you.
Dirk Chatelaine, Omaha World Herald.
Hey, Chad, I hope you don't mind me asking. I'm working on a story about UCF's resurgence this year. And what do you think has been the key to that?
Well, I think obviously Coach Frost has done a great job. They've recruited really well and has done a great job of building the program. And I think the thing that they have that a lot of people talk about their offense. I think defensively they're very, very solid. I think they got a defensive line that's as good as we've seen. I think they've got a secondary that's two corners that are, in my opinion, All-Americans and are going to play a long time in the league. So they got a very with that they got a combination of speed and size. But with that, they're sound. They're sound in the special teams, and they've done a good job. So it's not just offense. Obviously, McKenzie has come on and has been very efficient this year for them. But they've done a good job.
Thank you, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Next, Adam Grossbar, Dallas Morning News.
Hey, Chad. Trey Quinn today named a Biletnikoff semifinalist. What has he meant to your program this year?
Well, we wouldn't be where we are today without Trey, and just his competitiveness, his drive, very well deserving of this honor. Obviously, we feel like we got some of the top wide receivers in all of college football with him and Cortland and James Prochet, and so he's done a good job to place himself in this position. But at the same sense, I promise you, he would trade that honor for to be undefeated right now, or for a win or two wins, and so that's just the type of person he is. You won't find him walking around thinking about it and talking about it, but it's a great, from where this kid's career started and what he's gone through to get to this point. I'm very proud of him and proud of our team that's allowed this honor to happen.
You've deferred every time you've won the coin toss so far this year. Why were you going to change that strategy against Navy?
Well, because we felt like that, if we could get out and get ahead of them, that would be that would be something that, if we could get them to maybe press a little bit, maybe get a stop, and so that's kind of that was our strategy going behind that. We wanted to get the ball in our offensive hands.
Thanks, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Next to Billy Embody, 24/7 Sports.
Coach, this year you don't really have that signature win just yet like you did last year against Houston. How critical is it to go up to Memphis and get a win over a program like that?
Well, it would be huge for our program, and I think you can look at just about every team in this conference and put them all in a bag and shake them up and pull out whoever's playing the best is going to win the game. I think that's pretty much about this league and who we are. There's a lot of from the top to the bottom. There's not a big difference. It's a matter of how you're playing at that given Saturday. So yeah, I mean we've yet to beat a team we're not supposed to beat just yet. Now we've been close. But really, Billy, to be honest with you, this one more than any other game is about SMU. Obviously, I've coached with Mike. Mike was my wide receiver coach. They do a great job. He's done a phenomenal job there and got the program. We just kept it going from where Justin was, where Coach Fuente was when he left, and has added to his style and done a really good job. Got great respect for him and his staff. But this one, especially our poor performance of the first half last week was very disappointing, very disheartening. And so the challenge this week is going to be all about SMU and just exactly what we want out of this season, and what is the defining moment going to be that Friday night at Tulsa to when we clinched a bowl spot? Is that the defining moment of this season? And so that's the chapter still open, and let me just tell you, if you were hanging around here, it's going to be a pretty intense week, and it's already started that way. So we'll see. We'll see how this thing goes. I'm excited to get back out on the field, but as you grow this program, as we continue to build it, this is just a different type of growing that we have to deal with. In the past, we've dealt with different things. Now that we've kind of broken a threshold, there's whole nother challenges. And so we'll see. I'm excited to get back out there. We practiced yesterday, and so we'll see. This one's going to be about SMU.
Is this a week that you guys maybe try some different things to get that quick start that you guys are looking for, especially on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, I don't know. I think pretty much right now at this stage of the season, you are who you are, and I think that we've got to play better. We got to play better defensively, and we've been very inconsistent, and so we'll see. We'll see. Again, this is about getting everybody on the same page. It's 11 a.m. kick. You're going to have a 7 a.m. pregame meal. It's all about being ready to go and being your best, and that's our standard here is best, and that's all I want. And if our best is good enough, great. If our best isn't, then you know what? We're going to celebrate that, and we're going to pick ourselves back up, and we're going to keep rolling. And as I've said every week, that's just who I am. And there are just new challenges that as you continue to build this program from where we were to where we are now. And so, last Saturday was a growing process, and we dug ourselves such a big hole that we couldn't get out of it. And I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. We can play with any team in the country, but the one team we can't beat is SMU.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, thanks so much for your time today. We look forward to hearing from you again next Monday.
Thank you.